Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two blended Scotch whiskeys. I would have been on a little earlier, but I had this stray cat kept jumping up here and putting her head up against my arm, trying to, you know, force me to pet her head. And it kept making me go slow typing. Now a female's laying on the floor right there. All right, so sorry for the delay. Well, we have two blended Scotch whiskeys. Like I said, this is J.W. Dant's blended Scotch whiskey. Now, the company was founded in 1836. You, Bubba, says Panthers rule. You to you. 1836, it was founded, and they were a bourbon company. So it started as a bourbon company, but they expanded and started bringing in different Dant products. Obviously, well, not obviously, but they don't have a Dance distillery in Scotland. Okay, it's one of these contracts where they say, okay, make it like this, and then they ship it to Kentucky, and it's bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky by Heaven Hill. Okay, Heaven Hill owns J.W. Dance, but it was an independent company, but it was bought out, as are so many. Very inexpensive. 1 liter bottle, $8.99, age 3 years. And there's an essay on the back. If you're waiting in the store line to check out, you could be occupied instead of looking at your phone like people do, obsessed with their addiction. You could read, reading off of paper. You could read that essay on Scotch. You think that's a cheap price? There's a store close to me right now, half a mile away. No, I'm sorry, 1 mile away. There's a grocery store 1 mile away right now, that's offering tequila, silver tequila, El Toro Silver, 1 liter bottles for $4.99. $4.99. And their manager asked me, well, what did you buy it for? Because I told him I already have a bottle, which is nearly full. I said $8.99. He said, yeah, that's the price normally. He said, but I got a great deal on it. I said, I can see that. 1 liter of Evan Williams is $18 over here now. Yeah. Thanks. Well, that's the JB inflation. All right. Here's Dewar's age 15 years, the Monarch. Introduced in 1998, age 15 years, obviously. Produced under a royal warrant as an official, royal warrant from Her Majesty, it says, Queen Elizabeth II, as an official liquor provider or whatever. They provide liquor to the royal household of Scotland, England, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the Cook Islands, Tuvalu, Tokelau, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, the British Virgin Islands, and other realms and territories around the world. Okay. Now, is the royal family sitting around drinking Dewar's 15-year age? I don't know what they're drinking, but that is something these companies push for to get a royal warrant. It's just really a bragging point, whatever. All right. That is cheap for a liter of tequila. It is. SMM6. All right. Yeah, very cheap and crazily cheap. I wasn't buying it. I don't need it. I mean, if somebody gave me a bottle, I'd say, okay, and it would sit there for years before I opened it. So, I mean, I'm not just going to buy everything that's on sale. Although, if somebody's looking for some silver tequila and they're having a lot of parties over the next year or two, and they know they're going to mix it, use it for mixed drinks, why not buy 5 liters? What's it going to cost you? $24.95. I mean, $24.95 for 5 liters of tequila. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like a giveaway. All right, but I'm not planning to do that, so I wouldn't buy it. Hey, Elio's Wine Warehouse in New Orleans. Well, yeah, it was about the same deal because they had 750 milliliter bottles, not liters, but they had 750 milliliter bottles of James Fox Canadian blended whiskey. $4.17. You could buy a 50. You could buy a 12 bottle case. They had a $12. They had a special sign. $12. What am I saying? 12 bottles of James Fox Canadian whiskey for $50 even. So you could pay $50 and get 12 bottles, full size bottles, mind you, of James Fox Canadian blended whiskey. Well, I already have a full bottle. What am I gonna do with 12 bottles? But like I said, if you knew you were going to use it for like a reception or something, there's your deal. But they got on their website now, sold out. I said, I knew that was going to happen, especially with this inflation. You know, people have snapped it up. It's gone. Is James Fox the greatest Canadian whiskey in the world? No. Is it horrible? No. Is it a good trade-off for Crown Royal? Yes. Not a perfect trade-off, certainly, but it's a good trade-off. You're not losing too much. Hold on a minute. Where are you? Where did you go? Orangey. Hold on. I can't trust this stray cat. Where are you? Uh-huh. Don't try to run. Perhaps you would like to go outside. Go eat the rest of that food, why don't you? Sorry about that. I looked down and that cat was gone, and I said, "Uh-oh, I can't have that cat wandering around the house. She'll go and hang on the curtains and stuff, tear up stuff. They're very destructive animals. They're very arrogant animals." Okay. He said, "Yeah, it's good to stock up on while it's cheap." I'm in Virginia, so all of our hard spirits are sold in Virginia ABC stores. Yeah, Virginia has like that socialist system. I'd hate to know, and so does North Carolina and Iowa. I'd hate in other states. I'd hate to know that know how much that bottle of Patron I bought a few years back is worth currently. Ugh, it's probably not worth it. This is what they're selling. 40 Creek Barrel Select is my favorite Canadian whiskey. Yes, I have a bottle, and I got it for half price. Believe it or not. Now, they're not exactly the same level, but I don't need to really add that much more. I don't think that's a good idea. They're both gold, but the Dewar's is a little darker, okay? Yeah, I don't support those kind of systems where the state owns the liquor stores. I am a free enterprise guy. I've had actually people get angry with me. You know, these weird people, you know, like, I love your reviews. You inspired me so much. I'm like, okay. I want to be your friend on Facebook. Okay. I'm fine. I'm friendly. You know, I'm a friendly person. So I'll then later on, you know, oh, you're one of those free enterprise people. Like that's a sin, you know. know, it's like, oh, I support Marxism. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I was like, I don't care what you support. I don't even know who you are. You the one came to me with all of this this weird adulation, you know, but you know the type. Like I always say, social media is the place where the schizophrenics come to play. It attracts that kind of mentality, you know. Unfortunately, you say what? We're on it. We're not. I know we're on it, but you know, it just attracts that. Yeah. Kind of screwball type of personality. Crappier Tasker says, I missed the late 90s before Facebook and the internet. Yeah, because I miss it in a way. I don't think it's a cancer per se. It's a problem in the sense that it's constructed to create like false connections with people, you know, and it's like to manipulate people's psychological makeup and whatnot, you know. But before the night, you know, in the 90s, you would meet people, and it wouldn't take long. You could figure out if the person was on the level or not, you know, and then you just say, oh, and you wouldn't interact with them anymore if they weren't on the level. But with this social media and the internet, they got people that's like they try to act like they're on the level, but they clear, you know, you'll find out eventually that they're not on the up and up. But it, like you say, it's a lot more insidious in that sense. Okay, so it's good and bad. Like what we're on, the platform we're on now. It's good because you can do liquor reviews and interact with people that have common interests. It's bad because of the negative things I just described. In the 90s, I mainly just did it alone because most of the people I knew, yeah, they drank beer, but it was just, oh, I drink Coors Light, I drink Miller Lite, and I'm a Bud Light guy. And I would say, well, don't you want to try something else? You don't get tired of tasting the same beer every day? No, they did not. They didn't. I'll say, what if you go to the store, they got like 80 different brands. This is like in 1998. Wouldn't you like to try those brands? No, 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 no. And they're usually their argument was it's going to be too bitter, it's going to be too strong, it's going to be nasty. I said, well, how you know? You never tried it, but they wouldn't, you know. But now, at least with the internet, you can interact with people that had that common thing where they want to try different liquor, they want to try different wine, they want to try different beer, and then you can talk about it. That's why we got groups like Alcohol Eggs, Rock and Roll Club. Now, do we all agree on the same type of music? Clearly, we do not. My brand is the best brand. Yeah. Right. That's right. That's how people think. This smells like fermented grain. No smoke, no peat. It's just fermented, pungent grain. Okay. Like it's like you took bread and then it became whiskey. And if you start thinking long enough about what makes up bread and what makes up whiskey, it will make a lot of sense to say that. Yes. Does that have any bad aromas, bad character? No. Doesn't have anything exactly exciting or differentiated or unusual. It's just like standard. It's a standard thing, which is fine. This is the same, but it's got less aroma. This here has much less aroma. It's like that minus 90, you know. You get 10% here, what you have over there. So if you want something with some bold character, you know, relatively bold character, the one in my left hand should work. Now, which is which? At this point, I don't know. I do know this much. I paid $8.99 for the JW Dant, whereas I paid $37.37 for the 750 milliliter per milliliter. I don't have that size bottle, but if you take 15 of these, it adds up to one regular size bottle. So, I mean, as long as you got the same amount of liquid, right? What difference does it make what size bottle? So I got it $2.62 cheaper. Not a big savings, but it was a savings. So I did get it at a slightly cheaper, paid a slightly cheaper price per ounce for the bottles I got. So but we're gonna go with the regular price. We're talking about $39.99 for a regular size bottle versus $8.99 for a liter. So you say, yeah, well, the Dewar's 15-year age should demolish it. It should be a joke. It should be. We're going to find out. Here we go. Yeah, get a lot of cereal grain here, some honey, some nectar, some sweetness, sugar, a little wood. It's just, average. Now, is the average Scotch bad? Is the average blended Scotch bad? No, it's just average. Just, they're good. See, the average Scotch is good. See what I'm saying? I don't mean I'm scoring it a C. I'm talking about your run-of-the-mill Scotch is good whiskey, but it is run-of-the-mill. It's just like, it's good. It's a safe bet. So what I'm saying is, like, you say, oh, I'm having a party. Some of my uncles, they kind of, drank a little too much. They wanted some Scotch, but they cheap. They're not gonna help pay for it. They're just gonna drink everything I have. Oh, and I was thinking about getting the Winn-Dixie Scotch from the grocery store. They got it for $14.99 for a handle. Yeah, you're probably gonna be safe. Is it gonna be the greatest thing? No. Is it gonna be serviceable and not make people gag? Yeah. They sell it constantly. I'm sure people ain't buying it because they hate it. Heck, Winn-Dixie got the silver and gold rum right now for $12.99 a handle. $12.99 a handle. Now, is it any good? I cannot testify to that. I never had it. But there's no way it could be selling like that all the time. And people just hating it. Nah. Anyway, they just mixing it. They're not drinking it neat at room temperature like I'm doing right now. I'll tell you this much. I'm not noticing a big difference in price. Am I noticing that the 15-year age is 4 times or more better? No. Think of all the beer brands from 1998 that you can't get anymore. It's just cheap and fruity. Oh, I hate to think about it. I get depressed. Oh, why'd you bring that up? I have drank. You mean have drunk? I have drunk the Winn-Dixie before. It went bankrupt here. Oh, yeah. Well, that company had some problems, to say the least. But they seem to have recovered to a good extent, and they've stabilized. So we have Winn-Dixie here, actually, like literally. Well, more like there at that angle. And they're all over New Orleans, and they seem to be doing all right. You can get good deals, buy one get one free, especially. They'll always every week they'll buy one get one free. Even if it's upcharge, it's still going to be a deal because you're getting the second one free. That's assuming you're going to use it. I know people they're kind of like loony about that. They'll buy anything, buy one get one free, just to have it, and then half of it they'll let it go bad. I say, why you got all this stuff stored in your house? You letting all the stuff, go out of date, and not just go out of date. I mean bad, like years out of date. Got mold growing in it, just so they could save money. That's like a craziness, that people. They always had good meat prices. Yeah, I don't know about now. Your bottle collection is a testament to the long gone and overlooked styles that big beer companies have attempted. Oh, I know, right? That's why I did it. I did it for that reason. I started collecting these in 1996. I said, over the decades, I can look back and say, oh, look how this changed and whatnot. So that's the whole reason I did it. Now, some I've thrown out because they faded, especially red. If you got red on the bottle, the paper, it just fade. Even if you got everything closed, the light, it's just that light. Even if you got light, I don't mean in direct sunlight, just light, ambient light, it's going to fade it oftentimes. Still a nice collection. Okay, this is the Dewar's. It has more of a honey flavor. a more of a aged flavor, like it's smoother, um, less hot, less bold. I don't know. Does aging really make it better? Because a lot of people say it makes it bland out. It blands it out. It's a conundrum. It's a mystery. It's an enigma. Do you want the super? I kind of like them when they're hot and fiery, even if it's only 80 proof. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't bother me. Although they could be a little bitey sometimes. How often do people lament the passing of dry beers on your channel? About once a year. I liked the dry beers. Personally, I really liked the dry beers, like Bud Dry. I used to buy Bud Dry all the time, especially since it was five, when it started to fade and the company didn't know what to do with it. They were discounting it $5.98 a 12-pack. $5.98 a 12-pack. So I would go to this local store and buy it all the time. Tasted better than regular Budweiser to me. It was so dry, meaning not sweet. Greetings from Scotland. Greetings to you, Liam. And then one day I went to the store to buy it and it was gone. And the assistant manager was like, I don't know what happened to it. So I wrote an email to Anheuser-Busch and they said, well, Anheuser-Busch InBev in 2010. They said, well, we dropped it because nobody was buying it. The sales were terrible, so we just discontinued it. We regret to inform you. I said, I regret to hear that. Bud Dry was a bargain on its way out. Yeah, now remember when it first came out, 93 or whatever? Why ask why I said Bud Dry? No, in 89, that's right. It was one of the first dry beers. Very quick onto the market. It was more expensive than Budweiser. Remember that? It was like above premium. And then they had the Michelob Dry. I have 2 bottles of that. Still got the beer in them. Wouldn't dare drink it. Beefeater gin. I'm not fond of it because I never had it. I probably would like it. Michelob Dry was the absolute best. Asahi Dry is the only option left. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I'll show you real fast. First, let's make the determination. This is the Dewar's. No, I mean, this is the Dance. Yeah, the Dance. I guess it's not as good, but it's sure not way worse. And this one is good, but it's sure not way better. So let's make a deal. I'm going to let you pay the $40 for the Dewar's 15-year age, the Monarch. And I'll pay the $8.99 and get a liter of the Scotch. Sound like a good deal. You pay the $40 and I'll pay the $9. And I won't be much worse off than you. I'm not a gin type, but my daughter is. Cheers, y'all. Have a good one. You too. And most Americans can't fathom gin. Don't say that. They got gin people. They got gin bars in the United States. They got bars where they only serve gin, and people sit around drinking gin. Don't think that. Bud Dry, rest in peace. Did Michelob Dry go through any bottle changes? It's always in a Kirby bottle. Yeah, it never changed the bottle. I remember when it first came out, it was in this bottle. Michelob Dry. Teardrop, they call it. It still got beer in it because I couldn't take the beer out because of the shroud. See, if I took the beer out, it would tear the paper. So I had to keep the beer in it. So this beer is from 1996. Woo. And then they came out with the new bottle design, more elegant, Michelob Dry. And this is from 1997. So when they came out with the new bottle, I was like, oh, got to buy another 6-pack. Which I did, of course. And it still got beer in it. Same thing. I can't take the shroud off. And then the cap is all rusted. These are steel caps. The caps are steel, so they get bad. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, short story long. In this particular contest, I was able to tell them apart, but the differences were minimal and the similarities were maximum. So So do you always come out way ahead buying a more expensive Scotch whiskey? I haven't seen that. These taste challenges are not showing that. Unless you want to pay $250 for Johnny Walker Blue Label. Yeah, in most cases, it's not close in that. But nah, I wouldn't pay a lot more. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, planning to do the I can't remember, Inverhouse? Is it Inverhouse? Yeah, it is Inverhouse. And then on the next one, so we got Inverhouse. That's kind of inferior to J.W. Dant, so I guess it's not going to do as well. And then we got King Robert II, which is probably better than Inverhouse, and both Inverhouse and J.W. Dant. So the King Robert II is going to battle, boy, from Ian McLeod Company. That's going to battle Dewar's Age 15 Years The Monarch. And I think it's very possible that King Robert II could actually win. And then we'll be moving on from there to the Dewar's 18-year age. Everybody, you would hope and pray, right? I mean, you would hope that the Dewar's 18-year age would do a lot better. Better at $68 a bottle. $68 a bottle, so it's got a lot to live up to. That's no joke. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. You take care now.